Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Juhi Saha, the founder and CEO of Partner1, a consultancy dedicated to helping B2B tech companies accelerate revenue through cloud ecosystems, hyperscaler partnerships, and co-selling strategies. Very warm welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having us, and I'm happy to explain what all of those terms mean in a bit.
Yeah, please do. But with all my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of their journey. So maybe we can start with what you was doing before you started up the company, and then what prompted you to get going.
Ooh, great question. So the bulk of my career has been in tech. I've been an engineer, designed stuff that goes in every single mobile device, to building partner programs at some of the biggest companies in the world. So prior to starting Partner1, I built and ran one of Microsoft's high growth startups programs. And after that, I actually went to a startup called Clearbit that got acquired by HubSpot. And
Mm.
that was an incredible experience. And I started Partner1 actually because I saw a huge gap when I was at Microsoft leading this program for high growth startups. It was called Pegasus, very tongue in cheek reference to unicorns. And
Nice.
the companies that we picked for the program, they got to unlock hundreds of millions actually in pipeline, in incentives, in money that was coming through working with Microsoft. Then I realized those programs, those benefits, they're not available to everyone. And most companies, they don't really have a roadmap on how to build and navigate these partner programs that can be so lucrative. And the term hyperscaler, it refers to big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google that provide a framework for building SaaS platforms. So any B2B company that wants to sell to enterprise or reach more customers, they're leaving money on the table every year. And
Yeah.
we built Partner1 to basically democratize the knowledge we have and give every partner access to the strategies, the playbooks, the insider insights that we once gave only to a select few group of companies.
Amazing. So from there, maybe so the listeners have a little bit more context, can we talk about exactly how the business generates revenue today and what services that you provide to your
Yeah,
customers?
great question. So we have three main revenue streams. The first is advisory and hands-on work in developing and navigating different partner programs, which
Hmm.
basically means how do I build my business by leaning on networks that other companies already have rather than fighting sales one to
Yeah.
one. The second one is we actually build accelerators. We had a couple of accelerators that we built for Microsoft that help companies scale in 12 weeks or less. And now
Amazing.
our third model, and it's in private beta, we actually have a SaaS platform that makes partner success scalable and very data driven. So, yeah, I think you mentioned pricing. Pricing is basically we structure it on impact,
Okay.
not just a number of hours. It's actually very outcome focused, and our customers
Yeah.
love that because they actually get to see real outcomes, real revenue.
100%. And from that, who would you say is your ideal customer? So who is it that you're looking to reach and help with?
Yes. We work with a breadth of customers, and so our sweet spot, we've worked with startups all the way through enterprises, but our sweet spot are companies that are B2B, sell to B2B customers, and that are at that inflection point, typically between 50 million to 500 million in revenue through partners that
Amazing.
want to start seeing a lot more acceleration. One-on-one sales, it can only get you so far. The way you scale is by working with other companies that are complementary to you. So we're there when companies have hit that product market fit and they're looking to just hockey stick their revenue growth.
Amazing. And how long is it that you typically work within a company, or is it you completely go in as like a service done for you and then build it up from there? Or do you go in, work with them, and then leave them to as it trails off in terms of your
Yeah.
work?
So we actually have a program where we have a SWAT team that comes in and it optimizes. That's literally what we do. We come in, we optimize the partner program, we get everything set up in 12 weeks, and then we've taught the company everything they need to know in a box
Mm.
to partner with other companies. And then they typically like to keep us on as a safety net to also help them optimize their programs because things change and you're
Yeah.
growing, new opportunities. The other model is a more calm version of the SWAT team model, which is an accelerator. It's a 1 year accelerator. You get to work with us every week. We have a very clear program with clear outcomes and deliverables. And it's for companies that are not under a great amount of pressure to deliver through partners within a quarter. It's for companies that can take the longer term view and work with us. So those are the
And then,
two models we work on.
and then how does the platform fit into that? Do you come in and implement that into people's systems and ecosystems already, or is it something that, again, you do only if they're asked for it, or is a separate offer off the back of it?
So actually the reason we're building the SaaS platform is because our biggest bottleneck, frankly, is capacity. And
Okay.
so and I'm sure you've heard this over and over, so the demand for what we do is a lot bigger than what we can deliver one on
Yeah.
one. And so we actually built our SaaS platform to make repeatable the one-on-one work we do. So it's a very
Yeah.
structured enablement platform. And it comes in when customers think that they can move through the program on their own. They don't need someone to be side by side with them, or they have a little more time, or they're perhaps a little more budget constrained. And so that's when the SaaS platform can really fit in and be your co-pilot, for lack of a better word, and help
Yeah,
you.
amazing. Co-pilot's a good word, yeah, as you say, helping you along the way, but not having the pressure to get it done instantly because you've got the coach there that's working with you, I would say 24/7. I'm not going to put you in a position where you're contactable 24/7, but they understand the point off the back of that is great.
And the beauty is they can also, if they ever hit a roadblock, they have a hotline to an expert so they can reach out and they can
Yeah,
communicate asynchronously. We also complement it with free live office hours. If you buy the SaaS platform, you get office hours. So there's a lot of support around the automation.
awesome. Love it. And in terms of yourself, so do you have a team that work with you, Partner1, or is it just you on your own at the moment, kind of covering the marketing and the sales side of everything as well?
No, I would have way more gray hairs than I do now if that were the case. So I have an awesome group of folks we get to work with. A lot of our team are actually ex-Microsoft, ex-Amazon experts. They're people who've both built programs at these companies, and they're also folks who've built programs at other companies. So we've
Awesome.
been in seats on both sides of the table. And we know the problems customers face, and that's why we can actually really resonate and help companies grow. So yeah, it's a bunch of folks who are incredible at what they do.
Amazing.
I'm really fortunate that I get to work with them every day.
Yeah, 100%. And so when you go about acquiring your customers at the moment, in terms of lead generation, what channels and methods are you finding most effective in bringing customers to you?
Yeah, believe it or not, our biggest growth driver has been word of mouth. And
Okay.
so we also drink our own champagne. We use partnerships a lot. And so the partners we work with, the companies we work with, they see a lot of ROI. They typically see millions in net new pipeline in months. This actually happened. They get a ton of cash back from incentives and they close bigger deals faster. And then they go and talk about this with their peers or their VCs and PE
Yeah.
firms. It's just been word of mouth, and it's a very small, connected community. So one success story, it just snowballs into another, and there are a lot of referrals. So people will say, you should work with Partner1, and then someone will Google us or Bing us or ChatGPT us, and they'll find us. It's really credibility, reputation, word of mouth that's been helping us grow. It's all been organic, actually. We've not done any inorganic growth.
Amazing. And would you be looking to implement any non-organic growth on top of the success you've had from organic growth already?
Absolutely. Just like partnerships are the next phase of a company looking to grow beyond just sales, I think inorganic growth is that next level of growth.
Yeah.
So that's very much next for us in 2026.
I love it. So soon coming up. I do want to touch on your plans for the future as well. I know you mentioned the bringing the platform, pushing all that through. So what are the targets for the next 12 months? Do you have any specific goals or revenues, milestones that you're looking to achieve?
Yeah, for us, just like any company, we've been doubling to tripling year over year since we were founded. And so just keeping that momentum going as long as we can. That's why we've come up with different revenue streams, different
Hmm.
models going. We have also launched a scholarship program, and I'd love to share a link to that with your listeners because access is something that's often not made available to a lot of folks. And again, we were born to democratize access to partnerships and revenue through there. So we're actually launching that and we're super excited about it. So that's how we want to give back to. That's a big piece of what we're looking to do next year.
Amazing. And why is that? Why have you got that on? Obviously, I know it can't be affordable for everybody and access is pretty strange, but is that something the initiative you've chosen to do off your own back, or is it something that you've been planning for a while to build up to allow to happen? In
Since our inception, we've been actually giving back a percentage of our revenue, not profits, our revenue to charity. And people have said, we want to join your programs and we have all these tiers. But even then, for some founders, it's just not accessible. And those are typically founders who don't get to have a seat at the table, people like myself. And I want to change the profile of who gets to sit at the table. So we are a women-owned company in the US. We're certified as women-owned, minority-owned, and it's just something we want to do to help more people
Yeah.
get access to funding and growth and just transform how their businesses are. So long way of saying it's core to our DNA. And it's something that's been in the works for a while, and now we're officially launching it. So really excited to bring this to your listeners.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We'll put the links below so we can get all that done. While you was having, while this was all in the process and setting up, was there any kind of challenges that you really had to break through to make all this happen? What would you say was the biggest struggle?
There are so many struggles, as I'm sure you've heard from so many founders. I'd say one of the biggest is scaling and
Yeah.
scaling efficiently. That's a really big one because scaling a team and maintaining quality, that's quality is something we're not willing to compromise on. That's how we help our customers grow. So that has been a challenge, and we're addressing it through means like our SaaS platform and accelerators and things like that. The other aspect are is prioritization really, because there's so much opportunity in this space. There's so many partner programs popping up.
Yeah.
It's how do you figure out where our ideal customer profile needs to play and then help them play there. So really those two things are things that keep me up at night personally.
Yeah, I guess reaching the right people and getting your name out there. In terms of
Yeah.
as you see the industry evolving and the whole, because everything is getting bigger, even the online world, the financial world, and the industry that you're in especially, where do you see yourself positioned in that at the moment, at the forefront of it, and what is making you stand out and stand apart compared to everybody else?
We are fortunate that we got started at a time when partnerships were not really seen as essential and they were seen as fluffy. And
Yeah.
they still are. People think, oh, partner people just take out folks to tea and cookies, but that's not the case. Partner ecosystems, they're not optional anymore. That's how you grow bigger and faster. So I think for SaaS companies, we're fortunate that we sit at the forefront of that, and we've been there for the last 3 years, and we're
Yeah.
recognized as a leader in our space. On top of that, something we've seen is, of course, AI is changing everything. And there's a lot of bad information there, and there's a lot of great information there. So what we're doing is we're building our SaaS platform, but we're also seeing our industry move more towards agent marketplaces from software marketplaces. We're seeing AI native pricing models, outcome-based
Mhm.
revenue streams. So what we're doing is we've seen these tectonic shifts over and over. And so we're just positioning ourselves to help companies not to just navigate these shifts, but actually capitalize on it and leapfrog
Yeah.
their competition.
Love it. So that for them to be at the forefront of it as well and really gaining what they can and being a front of the wave and just jumping on board with you. I love
And
that.
sometimes defining it too, because right now we have the opportunity to say, like, with one of our customers, their pricing model is actually setting the stage of how others in their industry are
Mhm.
pricing. So that's been really neat to
Yeah,
observe.
very love that. And then as you go about like conquering these bottlenecks and reaching the right people, are there any kind of new strategies that you're thinking about implementing or trying for yourself at the moment?
Something on our next year roadmap is as we look at inorganic growth, how do we automate systems and processes to help our team be more efficient? So agents, we're playing a bit with that. We're playing with some automation in-house. I think that will become just more and more central to business processes everywhere.
And in terms of the non-organic growth, what is the new horizon on that? Are you looking to implement any ads across social medias or across line, or is it in the air at the moment?
So this is where I don't want to step on my marketing team's expertise because I will say the wrong thing. So we are actually looking to lean into experts who know this space and can recommend what's best for us, just like we recommend
Yeah.
what's best for our customers. We're domain experts. We rely on domain experts for other areas. So that's
No,
how we're gonna solve for just getting ahead of the curve by working with the best in the business.
amazing.
Yeah. So maybe you
And
can tell me, what should we be focusing on?
again, it's what you said before, it's getting in front of the right people, knowing that your message is coming across, and just that whatever you're reaching out with is resonating with them, and trust that they'll come back through. The top of the mind stuff is good, and it's a great. Once you have that organic growth coming through, like you already have, implementing in the next stage just only accelerates you further because the organics are great, they're just not very reliable. You implement a reliable source, such as paid ads, whatever it may be that suits you or help you find your person, will really elevate it all at the same time, if that paints a clear picture for everybody that is listening. So just before we finish off, I want to move into a little bit of a lightning round with you. So if you could go back 5 years to a younger self and only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward to help with your business, what would that be?
Don't wait. I wish I'd done this years ago. I waited and the impetus for me was when the company I was at was getting acquired and I was done working at big companies. But the second one, it was personal when my brother and father passed away and they were both serial entrepreneurs. And so to me, it was a function of carrying on their legacy. And really, what was I waiting for? There's never a perfect time. So just do it. The upside to entrepreneurship is massive. And you can always go back to a regular job if you want
Oh,
to.
yeah, 100%. No one says you can't go back, so you might as well
Exactly.
start. So powerful, love it. And then what would be the best piece of advice you've ever received about scaling a business?
Rely on experts. Don't try to figure it out yourself. Don't try to reverse engineer things. Just work with people who know what they're doing and they'll get it done effectively, efficiently, way better than you can.
Love
So
it. Love it. And then to our listeners who are maybe just at the start of their own journey, what advice would you leave them with?
I'd say not all revenue is good revenue. So don't just chase the revenue. Create systems, focus on ROI. Just think about your ICP and who you want to say yes to and what you want to say yes to. And think about ecosystems and partnerships because if you're going to scale, you're going to need partners. So bake that into your business strategy from day one.
Amazing. Love that. And with that is a wrap on another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. I know you mentioned a moment ago about a scholarship that you wanted to mention, but also where can people reach out to work with you and connect if they'd like to do so?
We will share the info about the scholarship, and you can always reach out to us at hello@partner1.io. You can also contact us on LinkedIn. We're partner number one, and you can always find me on LinkedIn at JUHISAHH, Juhi Saha. Love to connect, love to know more about you. And thank you for listening.
No, thank you. And thank you for joining us again today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.